all the others. But DP, who's been here, there, and everywhere, and who was, as I said, at that crucial moment, doing something else. Here, DP.
Distinguished members in the dais, I am not taking names to save time. And Harishji, please stop me before 10 minutes. As Chekhov, the great writer, said, brevity is elder sister of wisdom. So at least I can promise brevity, if not wisdom. What else Chekhov said, I don't know whether I should say that or not, but I'm quoting Chekhov. And since my old friends are here, I am tempted, with permission from Mr. B. Sen and Mr. Shanti Bhushan, an author also, to quote Chekhov. Chekhov was a medical doctor, trained doctor. He said, medicine is my legally wedded wife. Literature is my concubine. Like all gentlemen, I am more loyal to my concubine. I'm quoting Chekhov. This is not my statement. Anyway, I must begin with the book. There is one very serious sentence in the book, I think on page 147, which says, history edits and erases more than it preserves. I think this is true of life and true of Allahabad University also. Because if you look at the entire development of the institution and its contribution, it's really amazing. Although there is another truth which comes out much later in the book, I think on page 334, where she ultimately says the truth, Neelam, that how this relic of the Raj is going to reinvent itself. So this is really the relic of the Raj. Allahabad University का राज बिना ब्रिटिश राज के नहीं समझा जा सकता. I said sometimes, and I was criticized very much, there were editorials written against me. I said, Kolkata is the most liberal city in India and perhaps in the world also because it is the most colonial. Now I was criticized. I can say the same thing about Allahabad University without me having fear of any criticism. I heard this in Banaras as a student. I had gone in a debating team and I heard this there. They said, हम तो बनारस वाले, हम देसी हैं, आप तो अंग्रेजी यूनिवर्सिटी से आ रहे हैं ना, तो आप तो अंग्रेजी में ही बोलेंगे. हमने कहा नहीं, हम दोनों बोलते हैं, हिंदी भी बोल सकते हैं, अंग्रेजी भी बोल सकते हैं. There is another aspect that she talks about, the author talks about is, I think it is on page 113, where she talks about sense of creative adventure. I have a feeling, right from my university days in Allahabad as a student, that there is no venture in life without a sense of adventure. And adventure of ideas is the most important aspect of life. Harish Trivedi mentioned Firaq Sahab, who used to come and teach in any class, even after retirement. He could take any class, come and tell the teacher to go away. What he said, I still remember very vividly, about the university education. What is the purpose of university education? He said, to know something about everything and everything about something. So this was his analysis of his specialization and general awareness or general understanding of knowledge. There's so many things which come to my mind, but to save time, I would begin again what is described in the book, which shows the character of Allahabad University. Mr. Shanti Bhushan became the law minister. As a lawyer, he created history. And as Harish Trivedi was saying, initially I was underground. I was one of the most sought after fugitives who was arrested later. And it is on the records of Shah Commission that my arrest warrants were issued by no less a place than the Prime Minister's office. It is recorded. So I spent 14 months in jail. When somebody asked me in an interview 4 months ago, which are the best periods of your life, I said, first, fighting against the emergency, fighting against the dictatorship, and second, teaching in Allahabad. How much I loved the classroom teaching, I cannot tell. And the greatest day of my honor was, one of my students is present here, who is a senior civil servant in the Government of India. And the day I joined, Professor A.D. Pant gave me a MA previous class to teach Plato, which he was teaching himself. Teach Plato. Now what to do about Plato, which is taught by no less a person than Professor A.D. Pant? Who am I? Now to my students I said, Plato was a great philosopher, but I will make 3 formulations about his entire work. Number 1, I said, there is no public in Plato's Republic. Second, common sense is nonsense for Plato. Third, what is real is not ideal for Plato. After finishing the class, when I went out, Professor A.D. Pant called me. He said, I was taking a stroll, I heard you. I am very proud of you. You put Plato in proper perspective. So that is the, the style of teaching. And finally, without taking much of your time, what I would say, the very first chapter in her book, Neelam's book, which I consider is the best book written on any university and especially on Allahabad University. It is the best book by all standards. This is one of the wonderfully written books on Allahabad University, or for that matter any university. I have read many books on universities, but this is, why this was possible, why she could write this book. The first chapter, Mr. Harish Trivedi, the eminent distinguished professor, should try and see, the first chapter tells the entire story. There is no teacher in the Muir Central College who is confined to one discipline. The fellow knows, I'm not taking names to save time, the fellow teaches from Arabic, English to astronomy, to physics and whichever subject. So this multidisciplinary approach we learned later is the real part of knowledge. I don't think anybody can ever be a good thinker or an academic or a political leader or a lawyer or even a doctor without having some understanding of different aspects of life. So the University of Allahabad has great achievements, and without again taking much of your time, I would say 2 things. That university was possible only in the city of Allahabad. What I said just now to Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi, वो कहते हैं कि त्रिवेणी में सरस्वती लुप्त है, मैंने कहा नहीं, गंगा और जमुना संगम में सरस्वती विश्वविद्यालय में बह रही है, इलाहाबाद में. And it was possible in that city, जिसपे I will quote one just very ordinary share of some unknown poet who wrote about the city of Allahabad, which is mentioned in the book. Neelam writes somewhere in the book, I can remember pages, but you write somewhere that even if you leave Allahabad, Allahabad doesn't leave you. तो वो है, इस इलाहाबाद को मैं किस तरह भूलूं, चाहता हूं हर गली हर मोड़ को छूं. Now finally, to end, I will quote Kalidas about the real time 2 chapters and the main waning era of Allahabad. Yes, it is a decline, it is losing. Is still the great contribution of the university can be resuscitated with proper dedication to knowledge. What Kalidas said about Sthane bhavane kanaradhipah san akinchanatum makhajam vyanakti parayaya pitasya surair himansho kalakshayah shlaghyataro hivradhi. The poverty of Raghu, after he lost everything, gave away everything in the yajna as dakshina, is far better, far better and admirable, like the waning of the moon, than when the gods are drinking the nectar from the moon and it is waning. It is far better than its growth and its light. Parayaya pitasya surair himansho kalakshayah shlaghyataro vivradhi. Thank you.